Hello all and welcome to another episode of this micro series on self-preparation in UPSC. Now this episode is about writing skills. For those of you who want all the data on writing skills, all the steps here suggested in detail. So I have already done an online stream which is more than an hour, and I have mostly covered everything in detail. So if you have the time and patience, please go to that stream, and it's available on my channel, and please see that. In this, because these under these micro series, basically these videos are supposed to be small, and I try to keep it within 30 minutes so that the kind of interest is there, and not everyone is having the time or patience to see those detailed streams. So that is why I have made a compact video, and on writing skills this one is, and on other topics also is a compact videos, and they will help those who do not have much time, and those who like things in brief and in a fast paced manner. So that is why this micro series. So now coming straight to the point, this episode is about writing skills. We are almost there towards the end of this series, and from what started by defining civil service, we went on to laying the foundation, then studying for general studies, and prelims and CSAT, and then mains, and then now we are here. So writing skills, the first thing what you need to understand quickly is that, let us break, when we say writing skills, of course the generic idea of writing comes to your mind, but what exactly is, and when we say improving writing skills, so what exactly we will try to improve. So this is what you must understand. So in your exam, see, it's not a English literature exam or any cursive writing exam that marks will be given on how beautifully you write. Of course, how beautifully you write in terms of your language and facts and arguments, that is a different kind of beauty. And when it comes to writing, the pattern, the way your handwriting, basically, if it's good, it's good. Otherwise you should not be worried about it. The only thing what you must make it should be legible. See, just put yourself in the place of a copy checker, and if somebody's handwriting is terrible, it's very difficult to get and understand what that person has written. So you will try for some time, and then you'll give up, and then you'll just end up giving average marks. So that is exactly what will happen if your handwriting is not legible. So the first thing, and as per me the most important thing, is that your basically writing should be legible. That is the first requirement. Forget all these things, cursive writing, very stylish, and then proportionate and all those things. It should be legible. It should be easy to the eye. So basically, when I see it, or when the checker sees it, his eyes should not strain. That is the whole idea. So please keep your handwriting legible. And the next thing now, when we break down the components of writing skill, is grammar. So now those who are checking your scripts are perhaps teachers or professors, they are good with the language. You can assume that. And when somebody is good with the language, in general also, if there are grammatical mistakes, like for an average reader, it kinds of is demotivating, or it's like a road bump. So it's not good. So grammatical mistakes, although they will not reduce marks for your grammatical mistakes, but they will break the flow of reading. So that is what you have to understand, and it basically angers also sometimes the examiner. So these kind of things have to be avoided. Grammatical mistakes are really a big letdown. So your language has to be free from all these errors. So now flow. So now reading an answer, where imagine again put yourself in the place of examiner. He has to check and correct hundreds of answer scripts, right? The same answer, same question again and again they have to read. So if the flow is not there in your answer, then he or she won't take much time, deciding the marks, and then just probably move on. So flow in your answers is very important. Now, apart from this, basically if your handwriting is legible, if your grammar is correct, if your writing has a flow, then I think you're almost there. And then it comes to your arguments and how well read you are, how well informed you are. So basically your answer needs to be complete. So if something has been asked about, let's say, inflation, so your answer should cover all aspects of inflation, like how it is calculated, how it matters, how it changes things, how it impacts economy, how it impacts rural economy, all those things. So it should be complete, but at the same time it should be concise as well. So that is the challenge where your skills, your writing skills will be challenged, because if you are given unlimited amount of time and unlimited amount of space, then perhaps most of the people will get all the points. But in that limited time, in that limited space, how you are expressing yourself, and at the same time ensuring that your answer is complete but also it is concise, so that is the skill which needs to be developed. And I think this is the most important skill, component of writing skill, which has to be developed. So I hope it is clear. If you have these 5 qualities, 5 components, then you are almost there, and all you need to do is work on your arguments, on your reading, on your data, on your facts, and all those things. So now moving on to the next point. Now let's suppose you are giving the exam in English. So you cannot have awesome writing skills unless you master the language. I mean, this is the most basic thing. I think I don't need to explain this one. If you are not good in English, how will you write good in English? So so whatever language you have selected for your exam, you have to master. You have to be a master of that language. Not again going back, basic components should be there. It does not mean that you use all kind of flowery language, big words, uncommon words, complicated words, jargons and stuff like that. You don't need to go to that level. Good, I master the language in the most basic sense, that it is not grammatically wrong, that it is to the point, it is complete, it is concise, it has flow, it is legible. So again, to master the language in these components, in the light of these components, you have to master the language. Now, how to master the language? Of course, one is when you bring it to the use in your daily communication, in your other forms of communication, participate in extracurricular stuff like that. So all those things are there. But one of the most important thing is, the more you read in the language, the more variety you read, you will make your vocab rich, you will get new styles to write, you will get new references to quote, and basically you will become better and better. So of course this eclectic reading is a main component of UPSC preparation anyway, and it will give you a lot of facts and knowledge and confidence to clear prelims as well. So this eclectic reading, and by reading I do not only mean syllabus books. You have to read all kinds of stuff. You have to read all kinds of books, biographies, fiction, non-fiction, science fiction, history fiction, mythological, all kind of things you read, and then you will yourself see that with a couple of years of reading, how your horizon will expand and how your thinking spectrum will expand, and all those things will really help you to write good answers. So eclectic reading is part of basically the more you read, the rich you become in the language, and the better you become in the language, the better will be your writing skills. So that is why this component you have to work on these components. Now, how do we practice? Like for UPSC or for any particular exams, there can be particular styles of writing, and there will be particular requirements in your writing. So to improve that, see, practice is the only way. If you have to learn anything, you have to practice every day. You have to practice it very frequently. So what are the ways? Now, one way is blogging. So when I was preparing, of course, I started my blog in the college days. but when I started preparing, the whole theme of my blog changed from personal to all kind of political discussions. And in fact, a couple of my friends and me, we started another blog together where we were all contributors to that blog. So we used to write articles on whatever issue we used to find in the newspapers, and that really helped a lot. So one way is that you can blog about it, people can comment, you can read their comment, you can comment on comment, and there can be a healthy debate on your blog. So the other way out for the private people who are here, who do not want to share their thoughts and who do not want to openly discuss things, you can always go with the diary writing. I would say it's a more conservative way, and it basically does not have that interaction element, because I mean, the only way to grow is to learn from others, and if you keep yourself isolated and if you keep yourself quarantined, so then the scope of learning is, because there is a limit to which you can learn from the books, notes and others and all. It's peer learning is, when it comes to UPSC, I have focused on this peer learning before also in the various videos, and I truly believe that it's very difficult without peer learning. So it keeps you motivated, it gives you great content, it enhances your existing points and arguments and so on and so forth. So it keeps you going basically. So of course daily diary writing, but the two other things which I did and which were very helpful, and which I suggest to all those who are having issues with writing skills, those who are already good at it, who have been participating in various writing competitions, competitions, who are from arts background, they need not worry much about all these writing skills. Unfortunately, engineers like us, who spent 4 years not writing much but equations and stuff, so we were not in practice basically. Fortunately, I was blogging simultaneously during college, so at least some kind of writing experience was there. But what I tried during my preparation and helped me a lot was one answer every day. One answer every day on any topic. Basically, you can choose any topic. Let's say today you went to the coaching and they taught you about the Ukraine-Russia war. You write about that, you write about the conflicts of there, whatever conflicts, one answer can be there on that particular question. Now the other is one essay every month. Now essay also, that it is part of the mains examination, and the marks featured in the merit, and essay writing is little bit different from the normal answer writing. It's much more comprehensive. The component of flow is very, very important in when it comes to essay. The presentation becomes a little bit important, so it's a different pattern. So one essay every month also is a very good idea, because essay you cannot write like just by reading few articles. You have to research a lot, and then on that topic you have to read a lot, so that you have every perspective, and then you can write 2000 3000 words on that topic. So that is why this kind of practice is very, very important. So once again I will repeat how to practice your writing skills. Best way is to blog and interact with the virtual world, virtual community, with your friends, listen to their arguments, read their arguments, and then comment on their arguments, and that way cross learning is there. Peer learning basically is there. For the conservative in you, sometimes you can do diary writing and stuff like that. One answer every day is something which I totally recommend, and one essay every month. So this will help basically. These are the ways in which you can practice your writing skills. Now coming to okay, so now you have written something, but unless it is reviewed or it is basically read by someone and they give some kind of feedback, you will see that okay, I have written an awesome answer. So basically, since I was into blogging, and since 3, 4, 5 years before I started my UPSC preparation, I was already into blogging. I used to write, and I still do. I still write. not with that frequency, but yes, I still write. So I used to think, okay, I'm a pretty good writer, and okay, my answers are pretty good. So I had this pre-assumption, but then when it was read by the teachers and others, and so I got a lot of feedback, and I was surprised that there were so many improvements over the previous versions. So basically, if you contain yourself to your own little world, then it's very difficult to grow. So that is why I suggest you blog, and whatever we are writing, it has to be reviewed. Now, who can review? Peers basically is the best. Those who are preparing with you in a close-knit study circle, if you have, that is the best way of reviewing. Your friends can also review if they are knowing about that subject matter, because if somebody reads, they can give their opinion. So any kind of opinion is most welcome, and if it's good for you, you can take it, otherwise you can leave it. So family, if you have somebody in the services or in the academia or in the other particular field, so they can also help you with answer writing. And these days, so of course you have the option of online test series, which is also there, so that also you can take. But I think these, combining with peers, friends, families, colleagues, etc., these are more than enough to get sufficient reviews, and then based on those reviews you can improve your writing skills. Now moving on to the next point, because you are writing the basically answers to questions. So this point also I have discussed in detail in that live stream on writing skills. I'll leave the link in the description. Please go and watch it. Understanding the question becomes very, very important. Sometimes what happens is we just read it once, we see some keywords, and that keywords, of course, we have read it somewhere and it hits us. Okay, we feel really high. Okay, I know this, and we start writing. And sometimes we don't understand the need of the question. What is the need of the question? And we just tend to write whatever we know about that topic. So what you know about that topic might not be the thing which is asked in this particular question. So this is what you must understand. Understanding the question, read it at least thrice. This is what I tell to every aspirant. Please read it thrice before you start answering, so that you understand the need of the question. The operative words. Now this also I have discussed in detail, and please go and watch that stream. It will be really helpful for you. I'll just give one example. For example, there in some questions they give a statement and then they say comment. Now, and sometimes they say discuss, and sometimes they say critically examine. Now these analyze, elaborate. So these are different keywords, and they mean different things. So basically, comment meaning what is your view, please discuss this and express your view. Now discuss is basically you have to discuss both sides of the coin. So if there is a statement and your opinion is pro statement, but if the operative is discuss, then you have to discuss both sides, pros and cons, and then followed by your opinion. If it's comment, then it's your personal opinion. So these are the keywords which are very, very different, and they basically they mean that the question is asking something else. And if you don't get the operative word right, if you don't understand the operative word, then your answer will go in some other direction. The need of the question was in some other direction. So basically you will not get marks. So that is what you have to remember, that understanding the question is very, very important. Now, how do we further improve? Okay, we have talked of all the basic things in writing skills, but how do we further improve? Now, a few things. Choice of words is very, very important. Choice of word, for example, some people, if some answers if you read, then you will feel that it's very, very negative. This person must be very negative in life. He's only criticizing, not giving the solutions. So basically, negative approach to life. Just imagine, you meet a lot of people when we go outside, when we friends of friends, or in a party. So basically, there are persons, sometimes you meet persons who are very negative, who are only criticizing, who are only seeing the negative things of life. So you tend to, you are repelled by such a personality, and you don't want to be near such personality. So same is with answers. You don't want to read such stuff which is basically giving you that negativity. So that is why the right choice of words is very, very important. Your answer should be positive. Your answer should be optimistic. Your answer should be, free flowing and all those things. So choice of words should be in that respect. So then, of course, to make the answer rich and not boring, and to break the monotony, diagrams wherever relevant. Now this does not mean that in every answer you put a diagram. So this is also a common mistake. So whatever is relevant, where a chart is relevant, sometimes a pie chart is relevant, sometimes a bar graph is relevant. So all those things, diagrams, charts. And then there is of course, that since the time is less, see, the idea is not to write in a prose format every time. It's okay to write in points format, like 1, 2, 3, 4. The idea is to give more number of arguments in your answer. It is not about the number of words written. It is about basically the number of points, arguments you are giving in your answer. So there is absolutely nothing wrong in writing in point form. In fact, it is by many toppers, it is suggested that you go with the points approach. Saves time, gives you more arguments, and it seems that it fetches more marks as well. So point form, there is no problem in that. You have to learn to prioritize. There are, suppose there is a question, and it's a small, basically small mark question, 10 mark question, 100 words question. Now you have already prepared an essay on this topic. You can write 2000 words, 3000 words, but you have to convert it into 100 words. Now all the points cannot be mentioned. So what is important is the most relevant points, and in the order of their priority should be mentioned. So you basically have to prioritize your answer, what comes first, and then what, so if there is a, let's say there is something about World War II, and the most important point which is being asked, you have not mentioned it, or you have mentioned it right at the end of the answer. So that's not the correct way to do. Maybe the invigilator will never reach that, last point of your answer. So it's better the main point should be mentioned at the top right up front. So this prioritization in the answers is very, very important. Now highlighting, yes, because again that there may be a chance that the invigilator is not going through your entire things. So you want to make sure that you have mentioned some beautiful points, some beautiful argument, and you don't want the invigilator or the examiner to miss that particular point. So highlighting it, underlining it, emphasizing it, all those things can be used in the answer. Now one more suggestion to improve is basically that there are formats, standard formats. For example, UPSC, there is a particular size of the answer sheet which is there. So only this space can be used for writing. So that you can is easily available in the internet. And my suggestion would be that when you are practicing answers, so this one answer every day, so you practice it in this standard format. So this will help you to assess that how many words are fitting into one page. So it's very easy, and you get comfortable writing in it. So whenever you are practicing your answer, practice in these standard pages which are available in the internet. Now, of course, there are so many other things, but in order to keep the video short, so one more point I want to discuss when it comes to, and because this series is specific to UPSC, one major dimension which needs to be touched is that especially when it comes to optional paper 1, paper 2, there is a difference in the style of writing. So this is very, very peculiar, of course, and it becomes very, very relevant in certain kind of optionals. For example, my optional was public administration. So paper 1 is basically the theoretical one, where we read about all the administrative theories, administrative thinkers and all those things. So the answer of the in paper 1, the answer is expected to be little more academic. Like you have to quote all these thinkers, you have to quote their work, their research and stuff like that. It should be backed by that kind of academic points. So that there is a difference in writing. But paper 2, Indian administration. So when it comes to Indian administration, is more like a applied. This is theory and this is practical. So here more examples from the field, makes more sense rather than backing up with theory. Theory, here you have to quote more administrative thinkers, more theories, more theoretical frameworks, research, etc., etc. And here in this paper 2, which is basically about the applied part, which is about the Indian administration, here you have to give examples. So the whole approach of your answer will change. Here the answer writing should be more theoretical in approach. Here it should be more pragmatic with recent, and contemporary relevance is very, very important when it comes to paper 2 writing. So just here I am trying to highlight the subtle difference between the approach in writing when it comes to paper 1 and paper 2. So this is a brief video will help you on improving your writing skills, especially for UPSC. And now as we move ahead, more and more state PCS exams also are following the same pattern with GS and ethics and one optional. So it's more or less the same for all these exams as well. So in any case, in any subjective exam where you have to write, all these things will be useful, not just in UPSC. So I hope you have liked the video, and now we are only left with 2 more videos under this series. One will be on interview and one will be on how to keep yourself motivated. So keep watching this series and like, subscribe, share. Share it especially with those who are already those who have started self preparation for UPSC. I hope this will help them a lot, and keep watching these videos and keep giving your love. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.